You guys asked for it. You're going to get it. This is the part 2 to some of female characters that have stood out to me in books. I have a humongous stack, and we are going to start with the queen herself, Robin Hobb. Robin Hobb just slays the whole time. I mean, there's Ketrican in the first series. Then you get to the Liveship traders, and holy fucks, Robin Hobb she just does it again. She is just incredible. You have Athlia, who is somebody who feels like she's so self-important in the sense of this is her inheritance and her right, and she's refusing to let anybody take it away from her, meaning a Liveship. She is not your typical woman. She, again, in this culture, women are not necessarily, they're very, women are not, shall we say, allowed to fight, allowed to do man things, right? There's no actual prohibition against it, but people just go, why are you doing that? You know what I mean? But they do still stand out. They have a voice. That's very important. They have a voice in this, in the Bingtown culture. Then you have her sister, who is the complete opposite of that Athlia, and married a horrid man, and her journey is realising he is a horrid man. And then you have her daughter, Malta, who is just a spoiled little brat, but by the end of Ship of Destiny, I actually liked her. You will hate Malta through most of this, but then you get to the end of it, and then you're like, okay, Malta's journey, I like her now. That's just Robin Hobb. You have characters you like and realize, holy shit, I hate you now. You have characters you hate, and she brings it back around and makes it a favourite character. What genius is just Hobb? But even if you didn't like the Farseer trilogy, do try this. These are big books. I want to reread, but I don't have time because the audiobook for these are terrible. So terrible audiobooks. So you're going to have to reread them physically. Read them physically. But it's a journey you go on. It is a journey. An absolute journey. Talking of journeys. Journey for Destination. I know it's wrong book. But Mistborn. People seem to not like Vin. I liked Vin. I thought she was kind of cool. Not gonna lie. I liked Vin and I like Elland. Sue me. But the women stand out in this. Like, people bash on Wax and Wayne series. What is wrong with you? This is... I don't do Western. Fucking love this shit. You have... Maris... I cannot pronounce the name. I'm going to say Maresi and think I'm okay. Assuming I'm okay. If not, I'm going to put wording up here. Okay? Okay. It's early in the morning. Before work. Which I've got to leave for in 10 minutes. Editing me here. I got Steris and Maresi switched. I was right, it was Maresi, but Steris is the one who's the autistic character. Very autistically coded. Maresi is the one who's the badass police inspector person. My bad. It's been a while since I read them, not gonna lie. As you go through, I've only read up to book 3 in this one. As you go through, she grows and grows and grows. And people say Sanderson isn't good at writing autistic characters. Percy. Not gonna lie. Who is the sister of another main character in here who also really, really stands out. I didn't quite like the direction Sanderson was going with a maybe not relationship with her. But as soon as he went with the maybe not, she stood on her own. And I loved her. I loved her for it. She is a detective. And who stumbled across Wax. And things are happening and all sort of, not intrigue, but stuff with the magic, with the politics and things that you kind of think are quite small, but you can think, oh, they're going to get bigger. I am terrified of the Lost Metal. I really am. I'm going to read that next, and I'm terrified of the Lost Metal, but I'm going to read it. But the women, especially in this series, definitely stand out. Like Maresi, I could do a presentation on her but it will be full of spoilers, so I can't tell you too much, other than she just slaps. She slaps, and she's not somebody who is there with a gun all the time, who is going to fight for the bat. She is somebody who's loyal to you, who will just help in any way she thinks she can with her lists and her schedules and her planning. So autistic, not gonna lie, and I love her. I will never shut up about Gideon the Ninth. I will never shut up I will never shut up about Harrowhawk. I will never shut up about Ianthe Tridentarius. So many good female characters in this. If, like, this book is tripping, it's a Marmite book. You're going to love it or you're going to hate it. I adored it. You are meant to be confused 90% of the time. Everything you thought you learnt in this, you realise you were completely wrong in book 2. And then Nona comes along and you're like, how do we get here? Completely tripping. I honestly have no idea how Tamsyn has done it. How she keeps all these readers engaged, me included, when everything is so different. Everything is just like tripping and you're like, what is happening? What is happening? That's Tamsyn, yeah. But Gideon, gay as fuck, loves her lesbian magazine. She stands, her voice is so prominent in this book. It is so there on the page. You're like, this is Gideon. Everything that says, that's Gideon. Oh my god, that's Gideon. Like, it's just incredible, and it's an incredible book series, and everybody needs to try and read it just for Gideon. I mean, who doesn't like lesbians? Let's be honest. This one is a bit like not my usual. This is kind of based on history, and if you want to know what it's like to be a woman in this kind of day and age, around, I want to say King Henry, but I could be wrong, but it's not, and it does not tell me what era it is, but Lady McBethad is the daughter of an ousted king, descendant of ancient druids. As a child, it is prophesied that one day Grooch, saying it wrong, will be Queen of Albia. This is a strong telling of female lives, what it was like, how you didn't have a lot to say, what women were willing to do in this day and age could gain power. She got it, and it's one of those books that will stay with me forever, and I highly enjoyed it. It's different from anything that I've read. It's still technically fantasy, but it's more on the historical. You get the historical vibe of it. I'm not saying it is historical, but it just gives me that vibe. So definitely go read it for Lady McBethad, because she is a force to be reckoned with. Another force to be reckoned with is Clytemnestra. I went a bit insane reading this. I had to read this in parts, purely because I get pufferfish rage. I'm not gonna lie. You think the little pufferfish? Pfft, me. For what the men did to Clytemnestra in this book. My only issue, I know this is a retelling, but my only issue with this book is that she definitely said she was going to get revenge, and then she didn't do anything about it for years. And I understand you're a woman in this kind of society, there's not a lot you can do, but you said that and then you did nothing. Like, I wanted a little bit of you manipulating other people, getting people kind of on your side, that kind of thing, so you have them, you know, that kind of political machinations, if you will say. But Clytemnestra is a stunning book. Her story definitely deserves to be remembered, because fuck men in this book, literally. Whew. I'm not going to say, I went into this not knowing her story, so I'm not even going to tell you her story, but just, it is horrifying, and you will probably get pufferfish rage like I do, but female rage, female power, Clytemnestra. Do you want more female rage? Sword of Kaigan. This book, man, this book. Misaki. Holy shit, Misaki. Misaki! She is a mother. She has suppressed her nature because of this marriage and because of her children, and her son is learning to fight, and her son starts to realise, wait, you know this? But she's suppressing everything because of marriage, culture, husband, wife, all of that. But then a war comes, and everything about Misaki is just incredible. The way her and her husband's relationship is kind of shattered but comes back together, and like the ending scene with them was just, I adored it. This book will make you cry. I was sobbing at work listening to the audiobook of this, and my boss's mum walked on the yard, and I had to act like everything was fine when it was not. Misaki is a queen of mothers. She is badass. She is so well deep and developed. She's not just the person who knows how to fight, who is a mother. She's more than anything. She's more than her title. She's more than just being a mother. And I love every second of her. Go read Sword of Kaigan. It is a standalone. Just ignore the last chapter. And thank me later, because Misaki is one of the best female characters I have ever come across. Talking of another best female character, Anna in the Tainted Cup. She is basically the gender bent Sherlock Holmes, but make her very, very fucking autistic. And the magic system is just amazing. Yet we don't see much from her POV, but she really definitely... I need to leave for work. You can shut up. She is somebody who takes no nonsense, knows what she's doing, is quirky as fuck, because again, the autistic side of her, and the magic system that weaves around that and trying to solve a mystery is, I just love her. Like, everything about her is just like, she is me, I think. I don't know, she is just everything I love in a female character, and I can't wait for book 2. I can't wait. So if you want like a Sherlock Holmes type character, make her a woman, make her more autistic, and have the magic system centered around her disability, you have Anna. Now I am going to mention The Lost War by Jocelyn Lee Anderson, because the women in this are just incredible. Off the top of my head, I can't necessarily remember the characters' names, but there is one who is in a relationship with one of they're kind of all main characters, and the premise of the book is that everything that you thought you knew was not true, because there's a memory dry who manipulated everybody to believe that he was king, and the war and everything acted differently, and it kind of, people start to realise, and it spirals from there. And there is one character who used to be a queen who, when you come to book 2, I loved her, but I'm like, wake up, bitch. Like, wake up. Like, I wanted to slap her because some of the decisions she was making, that she was doing it without thinking, because she is not a dry. She is not somebody who has been suppressed for having this magic. Even though it now is allowed, most of the society don't do it. Like, there are people who will go out of their way, children will pull really dangerous pranks on other children that will endanger the dry children's lives. Stuff like that, because it's come from parents, and it is, that messaging is, wake up. Honest to God, wake up. And then you have the other character who, she is just so well-rounded, is loyal, is there for people. She's dealing with her own kind of ghost, because again, this memory dry made her be in a relationship with somebody who she doesn't quite remember being in a relationship. But the thing with this memory dry is kind of like, what is the memory that the dry put in and what is real? Like, what is happening? And it's dealing with that and coming to the conclusion of that, and still being strong and still trying to fight this fight. And she's just, everybody just go read The Lost War. Just trust me, go read The Lost War. Okay, my last one, because I really do have to go for work. I'm going to mention a cozy book, and that is Miss Percy's Pocket Guide books. They are sweet, but they have various female characters in it, all elderly, like middle-aged mothers, aunts, that kind of stuff. And one of them, which is the main character's sister, is just using her sister for everything. She's horrid, she loves living a luxurious life, she has her children, but it's like, oh, sister, you take care of them. That kind of vibe. And she's still well-rounded, still stands out, and is a bit like, But then you get to Mildred. Mildred is her sister. Mildred is the main character. Mildred is the sweetest ever. She finds this stone that was given to her by a late relative and realizes, holy shit, it's a dragon. There's this building relationship with the vicar, and am I somebody who likes romance between elderly people now? Because I might be. I legit might be. Because it was the way it was done, the way it slowly built together of them discovering, learning how to take care of this dragon, and then going from that to realizing, oh, I like both of you, but doing it in a proper way, because again, it's set in like 1800s. So things like that happening, trying to protect this baby dragon as people are realizing what it is, and somebody wants to come and take it because he believes that it's his by right because his father sold it. Bear in mind, his father sold it, but his father shouldn't have sold it. So instead of going at his father, he's like, I'm just going to take it back as it's mine. And it's not. All of that going on. And then, oh God, the niece, who ends up, she wants any little bit of power that she can get. She's like her mother, and she doesn't care about it being a dragon. She's like, I want this for her husband. I want this. And she's for power, or just because my aunt wants it, I'm going to take it. She's a spoiled little brat, but she definitely stands out. And I just love how she's written. Like, it's still making her around a character and realizing, because she's only young, like, it's coming across, you're like, you're making one of those typical young mistakes. I never thought I'd end up saying that, but I am at my age already. Like, you're young, you're making those mistakes, you're making a young mistake, and all of that. And I'm hoping it is going to kind of come together later on, and her realizing, because I haven't read the third book yet, her realizing her mistakes and what she did was wrong, that kind of thing. But my main love for this series is Mildred. Honest to God, Mildred is just stunning. I love Mildred. She is so caring, so loyal, and is just somebody who you would want on your side. All she wants to do is, you know, as she's going through the book, she's learning to stand on her own 2 feet, because she's a spinster, basically is what they call them, they're spinsters. She's 40, not been married, and she's living with her sister, and she's basically taking care of her kids. And her every movement is watched by her sister. Where have you been? Why did you go there? What are you doing? And she's learning to stand on her own 2 feet. She's learning to move away from her sister. She still loves her nieces and nephews, but that is all sort of handing over her head. And then this gets thrust into her, and she's like, what? And then all she wants to do is take care of this dragon Fitz. And it's the most wholesome thing ever. And everybody should just go read it, because it is the best. The audiobooks I highly, highly recommend. And the audiobook of the third book, I think, is coming out mid-December. So I'm going to be diving into that right before Christmas. But those are some more of female characters that have stood out to me. I've been filming this for 20 minutes, and I still have loads more to tell. So there is going to be a part 3. But let me know if you have any particular books that have standout female characters, and I will see if I can read them. And I will see you in the next one. Happy reading.